Hey, y'all, you guys hear about this? You ever heard about it? I'm a stand-up comedian, and I've found out that on Twitter, we've got hashtag 45 resigned to prison, or transfer to prison, is trending, which is...
Why do we get different trending things? Like,
no.
See this.
I had to scroll down to like page 2 or whatever. But
okay.
that's funny. I mean, Jordan Peterson's also trending, which is bad, but sending Trump to prison is great. Obviously, I do believe that probably prison's just a bad thing to have overall. But I think some people who are really good grifters and con men probably shouldn't have access to other human beings.
I think we should all just know them and be like, yeah, you're a villain. You're a bad man.
Yeah, but everybody knew that when Trump started and he got a fan base.
All criminals, instead of going to prison, we should, maybe on their wrist, we put like a series of numbers. I don't know what else, where this idea comes from. It just popped into my head.
All right, I would like you to tread very carefully for the intro to the episode of the podcast.
I just think that maybe they should all... I'll ruin a third intro of the podcast. I just think they should all be documented in some way. Maybe we should be forced to wear, like, I don't know, a little star on their lapel.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right, this is what we're going with. All right.
But Nathan, remember what Gina Carano said. It's being a Republican today is like being a Jew. A Jewish person in 1942 Germany.
That's right. And that's why, God bless them, we're gassing every one of them. God bless them. We've gassed every Republican we've met, right, Ian?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck them.
I guess this is the start of the fucking podcast.
It is.
All right.
This is a very fucked up one.
If you guys don't like politics on the podcast, well, guess what? We're gassing Republicans in camps. So that's what we're doing. I'm sorry. You know what?
Yeah.
I didn't create the legislature. I didn't even vote for it. I'm not American. But that's Joe Biden's new rule. Joe Biden said we're gassing every single one of them. And you know what? Tough, but fair.
Tough but fair.
Hey guys, welcome to the Media Hall Podcast. This is a weekly podcast in which me, Nathan, and my great friend Ian talk about the news as well as movies, television shows, comic books, video games, anime, the works, baby. This is episode 72.
Yay.
We still have not recouped any of our new listeners that listened to episode 69.
That was just because of the funny number.
I don't know how we got 420 listens to episode 69. Does somebody have a bot that just auto puts 420 listeners on every episode 69 of every podcast?
I think that's funny, and I hope that is true.
I think that's funny, but I don't get it. Like, I don't get how or why us. Like, and why
I think
Deezer?
it's why. I
is
think
it
it's
like
everyone.
a Deez nut spit, or is it that? Maybe it's it, right? It's so confusing.
Maybe.
If you are one of our new listeners from Brazil, though, and you stuck with us after episode 69, welcome. I do not speak Portuguese. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I tried. I know when I found out that we had listeners in France, I did speak some French. I am from Canada. I just already knew the French.
Well, we speak English here.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
And you know who else speaks English? The land of England, where the Brits live.
Gross.
Where a woman was just kidnapped and murdered last week.
Oh,
And
that.
you know who did
that's
it?
fucked up.
You know who did it, Nathan?
Oh, it was a cop.
It was a cop. A cab.
Oh, shit. Ian was teasing this story, and I didn't realize I knew it.
Yeah, fuck this bitch. Well, not fuck this bitch.
Oh my God.
That's the 33-year-old like executive did not deserve to be murdered.
Yeah.
But fuck that cop.
Of course, fuck that
It's
cop.
not just an American problem, as we have been trying to tell the entire world.
It's not called. It's not AA cab. No, all American cops are bastards. It's just all cops are bastards. Suddenly, and without warning, Nathan's internet fucked up, and we lost about 5 minutes trying to fix it. Ruh-roh, due to technical difficulties, we fell off of topic. That doesn't stop.
And also, I
us from
remember it, but it
disliking
wasn't
the
worth going
police.
back into it. A-cab,
Yeah.
fuck 'em.
Hell yeah.
But you know who also sucks?
Burger Kings.
No, it's the women, Nathan. They belong in the kitchen.
In a chef role? That's right.
Yeah, fine
Women
dining
are-
kitchen, food truck kitchens, award-winning kitchens, casual dining kitchens, ghost kitchens, Burger King kitchens. If there's a professional kitchen, women belong there.
Because women are underrepresented in the culinary field. Shockingly.
Yeah. And if you want to be a woman who lives like a stereotype in a kitchen, Burger King has the scholarship for you. The Burger King's Foundation wants to give you a scholarship to culinary school.
Listen,
Only
I'm not...
if you're a woman, though.
Well, that's fine. I'm not going to argue that this is like a bad thing they've done. I'm going to say that them saying it like this is bad. Yes, women are underrepresented in the culinary field. Because, if you're a good cook, you're a woman. But if you're a professional cook that's really good, only men can do it. That's like a classic sexist thing, right?
Name one
nothing
celebrity chef that's a woman.
I know, right? And there's nothing wrong with having a grant for women to get into a certain industry. Girls Who Code made that their entire thing, right? And that's like a dope ass thing that exists. This is a bad way to talk about it, and makes everybody look bad, especially Burger King. And that's my take.
Yeah.
It's a dumb bit, and what that did is fucking undersold the actually decent thing you're doing.
Yeah. Also, it's been confirmed on Twitter. The first tweet in a thread gets all the attention, and everything else does not. So, who fucking cares about their follow up? They explained their women belong in the kitchen tweet right below, but no one read that.
Yeah, or where's the drop off point? That's why I start off every tweet thread saying I have a juicy ass.
Yeah.
Gotta spread that element. And then I say the cool stuff underneath. But I start all of them by saying I've got a fat, juicy ass.
I got a fat, juicy bussy. Anyways, I think what they're doing in the military-industrial complex is bad.
Yeah, exactly. Get
think
them
after
hooked.
3 months of waiting and only getting $1,400 back from the government, or that is bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah. So good job, Burger King.
Good job, Burger King. Way to fuck up International Women's Day.
Yeah. Way to make it all about yourself, Burger King. Why did you make a fake ad campaign where you're changing your name to Burger Queen to really piss off
Yeah, that'd be chill.
all the reactionary politics?
That'd be a thing you could do.
Burger King is now non-binary.
Burger Monarch. Burger Royalty.
Burger Royalty. Burger Monarch.
I saw this on
That's
TikTok.
how you really get the hate clicks.
I'm blatantly stealing this from TikTok, but it's Burger King next Black History Month. Now, I hate N-words, and then and then underneath when they're and just fucking walking back.
That
funny.
would be really funny, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
Try to walk their way again to like something that they're doing that's actually positive, but just starting the thread with fucking horse shit. That's great.
Yeah. Man, Burger King's just like, man, don't you just hate it when black people?
And then just that's the tweet.
Yeah. And then people are like, what? They don't even they forget to put the second tweet. Like, it was supposed to be like, don't you hate it when black people are like fucking beaten down by the government, by the systems that are put into place to keep them down, and that the police are just a holdover from like slave days and shit.
Hell yeah.
Stuff like that. But they just say, don't you hate it when black people, and that's all.
And that's this full tweet.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Burger King's just going to become the white supremacist location, which is fine, because Burger King sucks anyways.
Yeah, dude, I wish it was Burger King that was like the shitty Republican one. But it's fucking Chick-fil-A, and they make good food.
Yeah.
Popeyes is still better. But still.
Well, we have to say that because we have one Chick-fil-A, and it's in downtown Toronto, and I think it's closed now. They tried to open it, like, during COVID.
No, it was making huge money when that bitch opened.
Oh, yeah? But then it's kind of, well, I'm sure it'll make its way out here, because I remember when...
I'm sure it will. And then, you know what I'll do? I will order from that restaurant on DoorDash so they don't make any money. And then put graffiti on the wall.
Yeah, fucking. I remember in like 2015, I was in downtown, and that's like the first time I saw Popeyes there, in Canada. And then like right after, like I had Popeyes, and then within the next year we had the Popeyes on.
Yeah, we have like 5 or 6 Popeyes near us. Popeyes good. The chicken sandwich, God bless.
Popeyes. The Popeyes near the town center is so weird.
Yeah.
Like, why is there a Yogurties inside of it?
Well, what if you want to just make yourself throw up, Ian?
Yeah, what if you want to just go
eat greasy fucking fried
greasiest
chicken
of food
and follow it up with ice cream and then throw up?
I haven't had Popeyes since like ever.
Get that chicken sandwich. Now this is a hot take. If you're gonna make a fucking spicy chicken sandwich and there's no pickle, you're fucking wrong. Like,
oh, then I'm.
Those flavors.
Do they have a pickle?
They've got pickle
but I don't
on
like
there.
Pickles.
It's on a nice soft bun. Listen, spicy stuff and pickle balance each other out. And it adds that extra crunch factor. Delicious.
Nutritious. Gross.
No, not nutritious. Nowhere near nutritious. It's a fucking fried chicken
and
sandwich.
A pickle. That's like vegetables.
It's literal fried chicken sandwich. But yeah, fuck. I should have got Popeyes to pay us for that.
Yeah.
That's one thing. If this podcast made any money, I would pay somebody to get us ads and shit. Because I hate having to do it, and that's why I never do it. Oh, here's something fun. Hey, HBO Max accidentally leaked the Snyder Cut early to people who wanted to watch the Tom and Jerry movie.
Yeah.
What a shame. Honestly, you want to watch something that's got characters appropriate for children to view, that's like fun and breezy and like, not 8 hours long. And then you get Zack Snyder's Justice League, a significantly worse movie than Tom and Jerry. I don't know. I haven't seen Tom and Jerry. I'm assuming that it'll be worse. I'm just
jealous because those kids got such an early access preview.
Don't worry, we'll get it in like a week, and then we'll have to talk. Okay. I have no idea. This is why I wish we had more listeners to this podcast. Are you going to make me and Ian sit through Justice League so we can do a fucking podcast about it? Do you want to hear that or not?
Probably.
I don't know. Stevie can send me a text and tell me.
I'm trying to see if the Snyder Cut is on HBO. I'm not on HBO. On fucking.
It's on
Pirate
Crave.
Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to see if like someone like because they saw what Yeah, because they got access to it with the Tom and Jerry thing. People found out. I would have assumed that someone was like, right now, and like would hop in and
Stole
like
it.
start, stealing it.
Nice. At least it's not in black and white anymore. He did decide to put it in like a fucking weird aspect ratio. I say weird. It's like the old Academy one, the square aspect ratio, which is just a very strange choice for a superhero film. You know, because like superhero films benefit from a wider thing, like action movies in general benefit from a wider frame, not a skinnier one. But he says it like recreates a comic book panel, but also like if I wanted to recreate a comic book panel, I'd just read a fucking comic book. On top of that, you ready for even more ACAB news?
Yes.
So Kentucky is trying to make it illegal to swear at cops. Now
When you go to Kentucky and start calling them fuckers.
Yeah, the proposed bill would see that someone who does would get a $250 fine or up to 90 days in prison or some kind of combo. The charge would be increased if someone was in a riot, which the bill defines extremely loosely as a group of people of 5 or more where violence against people or property is happening or the obstruction of police duty is happening. So again, if you're in a group of 5 people and one of you knocks over a trash can and you fucking flip off a cop, that could qualify as a riot and you could see increased punishment. The increased punishment would be the $250 fine plus the 90 days plus being kicked off of any social security program you're on. That's right, Ian. If you're on fucking food stamps and you flip off a cop in a group of 5 people, your kid could just starve. Isn't that great?
Yeah. I love it. I think capitalism is so cool.
I really love that you're allowed to have free speech in America, except for when you're not.
Yeah. We're not, guys, we can't cancel Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
But what we really need to do is watch how you speak to the police.
Now, liberals, you're trying to cancel Dr. Seuss. And that's bad. That's a violation of free speech when the Dr. Seuss company doesn't want to sell Dr. Seuss books. That's a violation of free speech.
Yeah, that's censorship.
But when you can get arrested for cussing at a cop, oh, you better watch your mouth. You gotta be careful, liberals. You gotta be careful. That's what America stands for, is not swearing at cops. The country that did terrorist actions against Britain for taxing them too much.
Yeah.
You can't swear at a cop in that fucking country.
The country that was originally like, hey, fuck authority, was like, hey, please don't say fuck to the authorities. They're very sensitive. They're doing their job. They're making like almost 6 figures a year to just fucking beat the shit out of you, and you guys shouldn't be mean to them.
Yeah, man. Kentucky, you were like, at one point in the history of Kentucky was like, the federal government is terrible. They're trying to take away all our slaves, but we have rights as a state to allow people to have slaves. You're violating our rights to have slaves. But then the same Kentucky, years later, says, you can't cuss at a cop, we'll kill you.
I was watching some fucking thing on TikTok, because, I always love getting some history on TikTok, and I think it was Robert E. Lee.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I think I saw a similar thing.
That Robert E. Lee is the ultimate traitor to the American people. Mm-hmm. No cap. Like, the man was... He was from where the North was, and he had slaves... his father owned slaves, and they're like, and people were like, oh no, Robert E. Lee never owned slaves, his father did. And then his father had it in his will that 5 years after he died, the slaves would become...
Yeah, they would pass on to Robert E. Lee, but then 5 years later, free. 5 years after, they would be free.
Yeah, but then he went and sued like the government, I guess, or his father's estate, saying that they should always be his, but he also said slavery is evil, but then at the same time said it is the white man's burden to enslave black people. And it's just like, bro, you're a racist.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Robert E. Lee that makes him a complicated figure is he did some other shit that was like pretty good. A lot of people say, but yeah, he's still like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he fought for the
He
bad
had
guys.
7 kids.
I mean, that's normal for that time period.
I guess. Like, it just, what a scumbag.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, everybody who owns slaves is a scumbag. I'm part of that. Fuck, what's that guy's name? Ethan Hawke plays him on the TV show.
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
The TV show's called The Good Lord Bird. Ethan Hawke plays this guy who's a real guy, and what he was he was a dude who like realized that black people and white people were equal like during slavery times. John Brown. There you go. Fucking boring ass name. The guy did like fucking calculated attacks on individual plantations, murdering slave owners and releasing the slaves to start his fucking own army to fight against the Confederacy before the Union started doing it.
Nice. Oh, he was executed
baller. Too. Yeah, he was executed.
What a boss bitch.
Dude, the man is badass. I want to watch that Good Lord Bird show. I heard his story on a Behind the Bastards episode, because the once a year.
What the fuck?
What?
He had 21 kids.
Yeah. Dude,
this man fucks.
This man was like a fucking literal anarchist who was like, let's kill slave owners, motherfucker. Black people and white people are equal. I live in the 1800s and I'm a genius.
Man,
I'm willing to die for this cause. Like, hell yeah, bro.
Okay, but here's the thing. Did Dianthe Lusk, his first wife, die because they were married for 12 years because he made her pop out a baby for all 12 years she was alive?
I don't think you could.
Well, that they were married.
I don't think you could prove one way or another. She probably just caught like cholera.
No, yeah, I know, but considering like, so he says he was Wikipedia defines him as a religious man more than anything else. Brown believed he was raised up by God to strike the death blow to American slavery. He also believed that in all ages of the world, God had created certain men to perform special work in some direction far in advance of their countrymen, even at the cost of their lives. He believed that among his earthly missions was to free the American slave, and it must be performed. He was very strict in his religious duties, and he regarded this as sacred. I am an instrument of God. I have a feeling this man was like an early version of a Quiverful.
I don't know what that is.
It's the people who are like, I fuck my wife constantly, and we have kids constantly.
The Quiverful of arrows. Yeah, no, I mean, like, the man started like a
Christianity.
The man started like a war against the concept of slavery. So like almost certainly he was having children to be soldiers in that war.
But yeah, but I'm saying, and he also believed that he was on a mission from God. So he's like, I am raising soldiers for God's army to abolish slavery.
And you know what? Still a badass. Still the fucking coolest shit in the world.
This is definitely probably one of the most complicated men I've ever heard of.
No, it's completely uncomplicated. The man is like, I'm on a mission to God to stop slavery because I realize that black and white people are equal. And then he's like, I'm going to murder as many slave owners as possible. And like, honestly, him existing is a solid argument for God being real. Like, can you argue with the fact that he wasn't put on the earth to murder slave owners? I don't think you can.
He was the only good Christian. Don't at me. Also, actually, no.
I mean Jesus, but I guess he was.
Yeah,
Jewish.
yeah. I would say the current pope is the Pope Catholic. That's Catholic.
Yeah,
right? I'm not religious. I was never raised religious.
Yeah, the Pope of the Catholic Church. I'm pretty sure he's Catholic. Yeah.
All right, I didn't know his full title. Get at me. The current pope is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, like he
was like, gay marriage is poggers. Like,
no. This is a BuzzFeed like, hell yeah, our woke cuck pope is so so woke, dude. It's not. The guy's like, gay people shouldn't be married. They can be legally paired, but we shouldn't call it marriage because marriage is between a man and a woman, which is good. Which is good on like a pope level. If you're like,
okay, yeah,
on the pope scale, solid. On like a human person scale, fucking terrible. Like,
yeah,
extremely bigoted.
Yeah. Also old though. Like he's, you know what? Can we get a young pope?
Yeah, like the young pope starring fucking Jude Law. That show.
Yeah, like this man's 84. Like we got to get these popes in their last fucking like 5 years of life all the time. It's like, man, just fucking.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah.
the problem is you get the young pope and it's like a new pope and he's like 28, but he's like a fucking alt-right guy, like a fucking 4chaner, and you're like, no, this young pope's the wrong one.
Don't insult 4chaners like that.
Dude, come on.
People in 4chan are nice.
People in 4chan are
no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I fucking enjoy. I love like 4chan green texts are some of the best stories I have ever read in my life. Well, obviously not like, but like on the levels of like novels. I'm not going to put it up there, but like they are the perfect format. If someone told a story to me like that, I would love it. But instead they're always like speaking to me like it's a book. And I'm like, I'm here for a funny story, not for your fucking life story. And I joined this group.
If a human person in real life said, be me, be 20 years old, I would punch that person in the mouth. I would defeat them in ritual combat.
Be at the store, see some vegetarian tendies on sale. Meh, might as well try them. Heard they taste the same. Go home and open the package. Suddenly the window breaks as a midget rolls in. I am reading something, by the way.
Okay.
It's Joe fucking Rogan. No vegan bullshit. Eat wild game like a man. He takes out a bow and shots my cat. Jumps me the moment I start to hesitate. Jiu-jitsu grapples me and almost chokes me to death. I instinctively grasp for air. Notice a bong in my mouth.
Bong in your mouth? How?
I know this is DMT, but I have no idea how to actually say what DMT means.
Send me the word.
Dimethyltryptamine.
Okay, you've done it. Dimethyltryptamine.
Yeah, will help you see the light. Gets blasted into a dimension more real than this one, filled with Joe Rogan preaching and doing stand-up. Like,
yeah, that's funny, but I mean, like,
I love them.
You could stand-up comedy that and potentially be funnier.
Yeah, but I just love the way, I just like the format. It's pure internet to me.
Sure,
but
yeah.
So, I joined this Facebook group called So This Is the Infamous Hacker Known as 4chan. And it's just a bunch of people posting like green text and like other screenshots they got off of 4chan. And sometimes it's like dumb shit like that, but then other times it's like, hey Ian, guys, don't you just hate trans people?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, Ian, like, you've just really fucking dug yourself a hole because you've decided to be like, yeah, not only am I okay with 4chan, I'm okay with Facebook. You've doubled down. It's like double alt-right.
You know, man.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Obviously a joke. I'm just
Facebook, just like every social media, Facebook is what you make of it.
Well, I mean, Facebook is like, I don't know. Everybody on Facebook is over 30 except for Ian.
Oh no,
35. You know what? 35.
A lot of my friends, like in the Discord, still use Facebook because we all just go there for memes. If you follow the right people in the right pages, you're getting some good ass memes.
See, the problem is, like, I don't like care that much about memes, but B, I like use Reddit, and Reddit you're, I think, more able to like be selective on Reddit personally. Like, I know Reddit's also like a fucking hole, but I don't know. If you just find the right places, you wind up finding great shit.
I just never find the right places. I always think like, okay, I'm going to get into using Reddit again. But then it's like, I go on it and it's people with like, you gotta fucking like, I don't know, like our memes and it's just nothing but shit.
Oh yeah, no. You want to find good memes. It's still Army IRL. It's still the best one. But honestly, like even my funniest shit that I find is on Twitter. Like,
Twitter's fine. It's just that I get a lot more news stuff on Twitter.
That
and
too.
Just like people. Oh my god, this is gonna be gross. Never mind, it wasn't.
Like, I found perhaps the best image on Earth, I believe, on Twitter. Now I can't even remember. Maybe it was Reddit. But I sent it in the group chat last night. One of my favorite pictures in the world.
Was it the ET thing?
Yeah, it's the ET.
Yes, I saw it. Then you fucking reposted it on Twitter saying, "Guys, look at how funny I am for reposting a meme."
It's not a meme. It is definitely an old piece of art. No, I didn't.
Any
by the
image
way,
on the
I
internet
didn't,
is a meme.
I didn't say, "Look how funny I am." I said, "This is what it's like to be in a group chat with me," which is I put. Mostly meaning that I'm awful to be friends with. That was the implication. Yeah,
we know.
This is what it's like being in a group chat with me, is what I put. And I stand by it that it's not great.
Yeah.
It was a whole bit. Everyone was posting pet photos, but my pet died. So I don't have any anymore. So I was posting funny pictures. Like,
how long has it been since Tony died?
December 2019.
So, oh man, that was like a week into. Did we start the podcast in 2019?
Like 2 months into the podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't talk. I don't think I ever talked about it on the pod.
I think you brought it up. You're like, I'm bummed my dog's dead.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm a 50-50 of overshare or undershare.
Yeah. Same. I'll be like, I don't want to tell people about this thing. And I'm like, so anyways, my foreskin's really weird. I don't want to tell people about the weird, like, skin tag I get here sometimes, and I keep, like, ripping it off because I'm a piece of shit. And I'm like, so anyways, I can't, like, my shit sometimes just does not work.
Yeah.
I have this nut hair in this specific spot that gets so long it touches my taint. I don't actually have that. I was just trying to come up with something that's like, why would you tell me this?
I was just going to do my classic bit that whenever people reference foreskin, which is that I can't relate because I'm circumcised, so my dick doesn't look gross.
I don't know why you gotta make me feel bad.
Listen, it's not my fault that your dick looks like some kind of John Carpenter or like David Cronenberg beast fucking rising out of its cocoon.
Hey, my dick has inspired horror films. What has your dick inspired? Persona? Gross.
3 orgasms.
Not Persona. Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, your own, bitch.
Oh no, I meant like
yeah, I get it.
Person. Baby.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to the news.
Anyway,
oh, you know, it was actually just real quick. We were talking about the Kentucky, how they're awful cops.
Oh, yeah.
I did see this in the news, but I saw it as well that they were doing that fucking sound cannon thing.
Oh, that shit's bullshit.
Yeah, but then I was like, and someone was like, oh, by the way, they made a joke about this in Brooklyn Nine-Nine like years ago, and I'm like, and then like they showed the clip, and I'm like, oh no, Brooklyn Nine-Nine really is propaganda.
It sure is.
That's why I don't like. There's a whole season I haven't watched, and I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, dude, like it's fucked up.
I wouldn't say it's like when they made the show, they didn't think we were gonna go through a lot of like fucking social issues, but
like
it was good in my opinion. I know you didn't like it that much, but
I started watching it sometime during the quarantine. Then I got like 2 or 3 seasons into when like Adam Sandler and the girl started being dating. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't fucking care what the characters' names are.
No, it's funny. Once like characters start like hooking up and it's like, oh look, they're happy and in a relationship now. It's like, okay.
It wasn't that. It was just like I kind of got bored of the show. Like it was funny. I kind of liked the characters, but it's like the problem with Brooklyn Nine-Nine is that it's not the best version of anything it attempts to be. You know? Yeah. Like it uses excessive cutaways, but it's not as good as Scrubs doing that. You know?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you could almost say it was like this, like the cop equivalent of Scrubs in the way that doctors are like this incredibly like advanced career. You have to go through a decade worth of training just to practice at the lowest level. Mm-hmm. And then cops are just like, oh, fuck, I went and ran around in a circle for 3 months, sometimes less. Yeah. And now I can kill people if I feel my life is at risk. So like what I'm trying to say is Scrubs took a lot of effort to be that good. And if you think Scrubs isn't funny or not entertaining, because sitcoms don't necessarily have to be funny all the time, yeah, you're a fool. Scrubs was
I think Scrubs
one
is,
of the best sitcoms of all time.
Scrubs is
Even
great
the
because I
bad
feel
final
like
season.
I feel like Scrubs sits in that place where it's like, it's not a laugh track comedy, but it's not. It hasn't yet gotten to the point that non-laugh track comedies are all the fake documentary style. Which, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is still fake documentary style. Like, even though it's not.
Scrubs was not even close to being like fake documentary style.
Scrubs is like just shot on a set, like with normal. It's like a single camera. Same with like Community, but you don't see that in popular stuff.
It wasn't
anymore.
like when you say set, because they shot in a real hospital,
Right, but like
no, wait. I don't think they shot in a real hospital, but they shot in a building that like had medical facilities that they fitted
hospital that closed.
Yeah, to look like a hospital. But Scrubs had 9 seasons, and 8 of them are bangers.
Yeah,
where characters go through like
6 and 7 sag, 6 and 7 sag.
Yeah, but so
8's
up
good
until
again, 9 sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just that they tried to be like, let's try and keep this show going, and it's like, no. But
if they just announced season 9 as a spinoff, I think they could have gotten away with it.
Which they kind of tried to. It's just that they very quickly were like, like it's not even was supposed to be called like Scrubs season 9. It was supposed to be called Scrubs Interns.
Yeah, and the hospital looks completely different for no reason.
Oh, it's because they've like there's supposed to be like a time leap between those seasons, like fucking like how Parks and Rec in the last season was like it's been 5 years.
You know, I never watched the last season of Parks and Rec. I really loved that show, and then the last season came out, and I never watched it.
I think there's some really good like wrapping up of like character stories and stuff, and then like they do this whole thing about like Leslie and Ron getting in a fight, and they haven't spoken to each other in like 2 years. And then they get trapped inside of their old office. Because that's the thing. None of them work in the parks department in the final season. Like, literally no one works there anymore.
And
so they get...
And Leslie works for Joe Biden.
Yeah, actually... No, she would have worked for Donald Trump. Because it was 2017 when they skipped to the future, I think.
I thought it was 2020 or something.
No, I'll check it right now. But... I think it's a good season. I remember talking to Megan, and she was like, I think that last season is garbage. And I'm like, no, it's just kind of like wraps up the characters in a better way. It's better than like, it's a better final season than The Office. And
never seen that show.
I watched 5 seasons, and at this point, for me to watch, like I watched 5 seasons when I was a kid, like when they were actively coming out. And then I got bored and stopped liking the show. So for me to go back into watching The Office now, I have to watch those 5 seasons again. And I don't think The Office is that funny. So it's a waste of my time. I watched the final episode with my mom because she really wanted me to. And I think it's a sweet final episode, but it's also just like bad. They're all caricatures of themselves. It's not that funny anymore.
Yeah. I know people love the show or whatever.
You know what? It might be 2020. You're right.
Nice.
Because it was 2015 when they aired it, and they said it was 5 years later. So
yeah. Fucking, they didn't guess what the real 2020 would be like. What a bunch of idiots, am I right? Just kidding. Nobody could have imagined that. Honestly.
But they also, I think they tried to make like a joke.
Akira was pretty close to being right. Do you want to be honest? To be honest, it takes place in 2019. The Olympics are about to happen in Tokyo, but some shit goes fucking down. Not too far off.
Well, that was the thing when they announced that the Olympics were going to be in Tokyo for 2020. Everyone was like, "Oh no!" And then bad shit actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that movie's so good. The comic's great too. The manga's great too. It's fucking.
Yeah, I have it. I just have not read it.
Yeah. The art's so great. Like, it's such a.
Oh, sorry. It's 3 years into the future. So it was 20. They filmed in 20. The episodes came out in 2015. Like, started in 2015. But they filmed in 2014. So they said it was 2017. So it was the Trump presidency.
Oh, it was 2017. Okay.
Yeah.
Guess they got that wrong because she like is implied to be working for Joe Biden or somebody. I don't know.
They kind of like keep it loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways.
What other sitcoms do you want to talk about? Has
don't know.
any new one
I
actually
fucking hate Modern
come
Family.
out? Okay, but has any
Well-
like new sitcom?
Like a new concept of sitcom, or
Yeah, I'm trying to like think like a fucking Good Place. The Good Place is the last like
Oh,
really
yeah.
good one. Yeah, there it is, and that's over now. But that's not documentary style. That's shot
the
like
Good
a fucking
Place got to do.
show.
Yeah, the Good Place got to say what they wanted to say. That was my favorite thing. Is when they were.
I didn't get to finish. I didn't watch the last season.
It wasn't on Netflix for a really long time, so I haven't watched it either. And also, I don't really, like. I get it that it's actually the final season they wanted to write, but I just don't really want to watch it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be sad.
But also, I just don't like the concept they were going for with like having to spoilers for the Good Place is actually creating the medium place to like send people there to really see if they can become good people, kind of like how they all became good people by being tortured in the what they thought was the good place.
Yeah, I think it's a good concept because it's like, I think it's like cool what the show's trying to say, which is like the way the modern world works. We are all accidentally making ethical decisions that we don't realize with every purchase we do and everything we care about because like the world's so fucking morally fucked up.
I am drinking this cherry bubbly.
Yeah.
It is in a can. It is more environmentally friendly. I live in Canada, so this will be recycled. But this has cherries. Cherries were most likely picked in a plantation where people are getting paid slave wages.
Yep.
And then it was then the pollution that it made. It would all like it. I'm doing something more environmentally conscious, but because of the point of the show is you're
supporting a pipeline of things that are already like negatively affecting things, and you know the problem is these choices are relative, right? If you bought like a fat hunk of plastic, right, versus a can, the can's the better choice. But they both support a negative thing. But you can't just, like, not buy anything. We don't live in that kind of society, and every product has its own fucking baggage.
I think my favorite joke in that entire fucking show, though,
Yeah.
is when God, I can't remember her name in the show, but she's played by
Maya Rudolph, the judge.
Maya
She's
Rudolph's
not the-
character. She's like a very high up. She's the judge.
Yeah.
So they send. She's like, "All right, I'll go see how Earth is. I haven't been in like 5,000 years." And then she goes down, and she's like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah. Apparently, I'm black.
Apparently, I'm black and a woman, and I did not do great down there.
It's like, and they don't like those that much down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Good Place is a great show. And like most of the season premieres are directed by the guy who directed fucking Cabin in the Woods and Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a get in terms of directing.
Also, we got like Manny Jacinto who plays.
Oh my god, he's so funny, Jason.
He's so hot.
He's so funny, dude. That character's hilarious. He died doing what he loved. Whippets.
That's such a brutal death as well.
Oh, it's so fucking dark, and they just stroll right past it. Like he gets locked in a safe and can't breathe, but he's doing whippets.
Yeah.
Oh
he like suffocated in there and died. And I think they actually say that he did whippets, passed out in the safe, and died while he was like passed out. So like slightly better, but still bad. Actually, you know what? I think it was a horrible death because when Michael goes back in time to the moments where they die and saves them from dying, he like pops the safe open and he falls out gasping for air.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think that's it for sitcoms. There's also Blackish, but that's just a classic sitcom, but with a black cast.
Yeah, like the thing with Blackish, and I know I'm not black, and I know the creator's black, and I'm not here to say racism. But isn't it like offensive that like the thing that makes them ish is that they're like a middle class family? They're not poor.
I don't think it's offensive. I think it's what they're trying to say is that like when you're a more middle class black family, people will like say like, yeah, you're not as black as you used to be, but like you could grow, like, you know, fucking the thing in Fresh Prince where like Will is giving Uncle Phil shit because he's like a rich, powerful lawyer now, but Uncle Phil was like there with MLK back in the day.
Right, but the show's
he's not
like,
black because he's rich. He's still black despite the fact that he's rich.
But the show's not called, hey, these black people aren't black people because they're rich. Like the show Blackish is like they're ish, like literally, like they're not fucking black because they're rich or whatever. And like
I'm sure
I always thought that was offensive.
I think we're just reading into it wrong because with the amount of black people in this show,
like
they definitely would have been like, I don't like this fucking name. If, like
wouldn't it be offensive if they made a show that was like Jew-ish and it's like, oh, I don't have much money, but I'm happy to give it away. Oh, you need some money? I'll help you out. No problem. I don't need it. I don't want it even.
It's called
I'm opposite greedy.
It's no. I wasn't gonna say that because that's like an actual offensive one. I'm saying they're all Jewish. They're Jews, but they're broke.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're broke, but they
don't give away their money. It's just that they don't naturally have money, and maybe they're like bad at spending, like Andy Samberg's character in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I'm just saying, fucking dial it up to 100 to make it funny in my joke that I was making, which was right. They're happy to give it away, no problem. They're not greedy at all.
But the also thing that makes me think it's like a real like classic sitcom because it has a spinoff because one of the characters got too old to like and had to.
I think they have two now.
They do. They have Grownish and Mixedish, but Mixedish is like. It's about the mom, but when she was a kid.
Oh,
so
it's like
her white mom and her black dad. Yeah, except Everybody Hates Chris was just about being a black kid and their parents trying to exist in a white neighborhood.
Because Everybody Hates Chris was like actually a period piece, wasn't it? It was like set.
It was a 70s period piece, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we spent like the last 40 minutes talking about
it's a
sitcoms.
Podcast.
It's a podcast where we didn't do anything this week.
We do comedy on this show sometimes, and that was pretty funny, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I got to start watching something again, like as a thing, because I've just been like not doing anything, especially when I'm on like afternoons at work. I don't do anything. I work way too much, and the schedule I'm on just sucks because I don't like to stay up that late anymore, but I always do. But I stay up late, like looking at memes and being like, I should play a game. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like I played nothing but like Apex and Valheim, and I have nothing new to talk about those. So that's why I just put the 3 movies I watched on last Saturday. Yeah.
I was just gonna say you could watch just like the Muppets or whatever.
I gotta steal that though.
You could watch some kind of anime. I don't know.
There is actually an anime I want to start watching again. I watched the first episode a while ago with the Discord, and it was pretty interesting and pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
It's called Wonder Egg Priority.
Oh, cool.
And it's fuck you. I'm talking about it now.
Oh, sorry.
It's about a girl who like she doesn't go to school anymore because she was like horrendously bullied, and then but that's not what stopped her. What stopped her is because she had a friend who moved into the neighborhood, became her like school friend, and then she was like, this kid is getting bullied. I'm gonna be her friend. But then she started getting bullied, but because of the main characters, like the bullies shifted their focus to her friend. They stopped fucking with her, and she was too much of a coward to stand up and like help her friend who helped her. And her friend inevitably kills herself, like throws herself off the school building, like Shiho and fucking
P5
Persona
maybe.
5. And she feels so much regret. She's like 13, and she feels so much regret that she is like bedridden, and like the fantasy egg thing shows up and says, come follow me, and she's like, sure, whatever, and she goes into like this horror universe where things are chasing her and like trying to kill her, but she finds out if she collects these eggs and saves like the people who are on the cusp of killing themselves in the real world, she can get her friend back. So it's like her trying to like live through her trauma and like make amends and also get rewarded. But
I mean, not to be that guy.
Yeah.
I think that's like kind of not okay. I don't think that's
I don't know. That was like
message.
what I got from the first episode. I gotta like watch more.
I feel like the friend coming, if it was just like she needs to do that to like move on with her trauma and she has to fight like a battle, like a physical battle that's like a representative of the metaphorical battle with her trauma and guilt, that's one thing. I think that'd be fine. It'd be a great story, actually. The get the friend back from the dead, I don't think is a good thing to put in a story.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe she won't get the friend back from the dead. Maybe that's the whole journey. There's like it's a full season. There's 10 episodes out right now.
You'll watch that, but you're not gonna fucking watch Promised Neverland season 1?
Because I don't know. I just don't feel like it.
It's a good show.
Maybe
I mean, season 2 apparently isn't doing super great.
Well, it's because they skipped one of the best arcs.
Yeah, Goldie Pond arc is cool, but
which they did that in Horimiya as well. They skipped like an entire arc about like one of the characters and the growth she has about it, because the whole show is about like people being like, I don't have friends. Wait a second, I have tons of friends and they love me.
Ian, I do have a recommendation for you, like a real one.
Oh, you know I won't take it, but hit me.
Gundam.
No, I don't like
Mobile
mechs.
Suit Gundam.
I have only watched and enjoyed one show that has robots, and it's Gurren Lagann.
But you might enjoy more because you do enjoy Gurren Lagann. Maybe you'd want to watch like one that's like a less. Do you like that Gurren Lagann's like super wacky and out there and not realistic?
Yes.
Okay, then maybe you should watch Mobile Fighter G Gundam, which is no. Takes place in a future where there's a society. It's completely unrelated. It takes place in its own universe, so you don't need to do any homework. It takes place in a world in which the Earth has abolished all war, and instead wars are fought every 7 years, where all the countries submit their own mobile suits in a tournament to fight each other, and whoever
Naruto?
wins, and whoever wins the tournament rules the entire world.
Damn.
Yeah, and what you need to Google right now is Tequila Gundam, which is the Mexican Gundam.
Okay, I'm doing it.
It's really racist.
I love him. He's great. He's got a. If you're too lazy to Google it yourself, he's got like a fucking sombrero built onto him. Oh man, I love Japan and their racism. It's so fun.
Yeah, but Mobile Fighter G Gundam, I wanted to watch it next, but I'm watching Zeta right now, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was the next? Oh, fucking Netflix.
Square Enix.
Oh, Square Enix. Shit. Oh yeah, Square Enix is doing their own Nintendo Direct State of Play thing, mostly for their Western shit. Specifically, they've announced the new Life is Strange is coming, gonna be shown off, which is like, this is the first we're hearing of that game existing, which is cool. It's gonna happen March 18th. Gonna be 40 full minutes. I might stream it. I had fun with the State of Play a couple weeks ago, so you know.
Yeah, I truly do not care about this because I've never liked Life is Strange, but like, well, the only Square Enix thing I want.
Yeah.
Is Final Fantasy 16, and that's it.
Oh, right. You didn't like 7 Remake that much.
No. I don't know. I was thinking of trying it again.
Yeah, once the upgrade
it's on PS5, and it has cross-save, so I don't have to go back. So
yeah.
And then the Yuffie, like, stuff, like that story, like, the gameplay of it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
Like,
it's a
I don't think it's
a
lot
like
of their
the fucking side quests.
I don't think it's a lot of their Japanese stuff. Just skip the side quests. It's not a big
but
deal.
it just I'm a very much a completionist, even if I don't like a game. Like
Well,
I just because I feel like I need to find like a guide that's just like what do I get from doing the side quest? Because if I can get a cool sword, I don't want to miss that one.
You can get good stuff from side quests, but if you don't enjoy it, it's not worth the good stuff.
But then what if I don't get that good stuff and then I get to a hard part later on in the game and I'm like, I wish I had that good stuff now.
I'm gonna tell you, Ian.
Yeah.
The game is pretty fine. Like it's like there are difficulty spikes. As somebody who did get like do all the side shit, the difficulty spikes exist. Period.
Okay.
They just are there. You're going to find that the last two like the final thing in the game sucks because it's an entire dungeon that's one boss fight.
Okay.
It's like an hour long. So that
I have
sucks.
this mixed up in my head right now. I believe this happens before. Do you go to the reactor with Tifa before Wall Market?
So you do the 2 reactors. So there's 2 reactors, right? You do the one at the beginning of the game, and then you do the second one. The second one you fall off, right? Tifa and Barrett get away. You meet Aerith.
You meet Rude and all them.
Yeah, you meet Aerith and Rude. You go through all the Aerith stuff. You meet her mom, whatever, and then she takes you to the Wall Market because you see Tifa.
She takes you back to where you were going, but then you see Tifa getting carted away. So then you go to help her.
Yeah. And then like the game just kind of keeps going. It looks like
yes, as games do. You just keep going.
But you know, again, you can do side quests. I did all of them. I think there's a lot of bullshit ones that I found fun in sometimes, but that's because I like the game and I liked hearing the dialogue between the characters and I fucking enjoy the combat a lot. But if you don't or whatever, then you don't have to do it.
Yes.
There's only like 10 or 20 side quests in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 20. But you know, and then there's like the thing is once you unlock hard mode and you like the combat, then you might want to try that out cuz on hard there's like an extra there's a third like Coliseum area in the game on hard mode, which has like some of the hardest shit, which I didn't beat because it was too hard. I didn't beat the game on hard. I might do that when I get the upgrade.
Yeah.
Just get my ass blown out.
Fucking Scrubs isn't on Netflix.
It's on Disney Plus.
Oh fuck, is it?
Yep.
Well, looks like it's on incognito mode for me.
It's not porn. You can just watch it on your fucking browser, dude.
Not when you don't have Disney Plus.
I mean, like, whatever website you were going to use, but you don't need a fucking incognito mode for that, bud.
I was going to torrent it, Nathan. That's what I'm saying. Because Canadian ISPs will send your information to the people like who own it and fucking get you a cease and desist letter, like I got before.
Did you actually get a letter? Or did you just get an email?
I got an email.
Yeah, that's not a real C&D, buddy.
I know, but they like, you know, they threaten you, and it would go to my mom because it's on her account. So I fucking, you know, I have my VPN, but you should also like access things in like incognito mode as well.
You should do both, yeah. Yeah, right now, anyway, Netflix is trying to get rid of password sharing, so they're going to try to determine your location.
Yes. Fuck you, Netflix.
Which is dumb. Shit. I mean, the thing Netflix hasn't realized right now is that all of the people who have Netflix right now are all of the people who will ever have Netflix, because if you haven't heard of it by now or want it by now, you never will.
Yeah. Also, like, if I have Netflix in my own home, like they're like one household, so it's like, all right, it's me, it's my mom, it's my sister who lives in the basement. If my sister leaves this house, she's still going to have access to my Netflix account.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Why does it, like...
Because we want every dollar from you.
Yeah, you're not getting it. Like if I stop paying for Netflix, I'm just never gonna pay for it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because why would I? It's just not worth the money to me to to restart it after if I deem it unworthy, there's nothing good that's going to make me come back at this point because there is so many streaming service. Yeah, but like piracy's always existed, and I have been able to pirate things for a long time. It's just that I was like saw the concept of Netflix when I was like fucking I don't know, like in 2016.
No,
actually
when
probably
you were
like
16, like 2011. Yeah. That's when I got Netflix at least.
I got it when when I first got a credit card, so it like 18, because my mom wouldn't pay for it. Even I was like, I'll give you the money, you just have to pay for it every month. Like I'd be like, oh, the Netflix bill came in, here's the money, and she was like, no, I don't want that shit charging my credit card. I was like, all right, thanks, mom. So I had to wait till I had my own credit card to go and get Netflix. But I've had Netflix since I was 18.
My mom pays for Netflix, but I pay for Crave plus HBO plus Stars.
Yeah, my sister just pays for Crave now. Well, I guess I could just get that from her for some of these shows. But, you know, it's dumb. It's the fact also how they're going to verify you is stupid. Like, because I'm just going to get, if I'm at work and Maggie gets that like thing, she's just going to get say verify later, and it's just gonna send it to me then, and I'll just be like, all right, yeah, sure, and she'll just keep watching. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so dumb. It's ridiculous.
It's all it is a money making measure, and what we're gonna find is people are gonna be less into Netflix.
I also think they're probably going to use it as a way, because you know how the reason why we don't get there's a divide between American Netflix and Canadian Netflix, which is funny because international licensing and stuff. I was listening to the Gus and Eddie podcast, and they were talking about like NordVPN and whatever, and they were like, Canadian Netflix has some really cool shit on it. I'm like, whoa. The times have changed so hard
because we have all the Studio Ghibli movies
and a bunch of other stuff that we don't have like fucking
Hulu,
PBS All Access. Yeah. So like we get some of those shows like that have been taken. Like I think we still have The Office, but The Office is gone on American Netflix.
Yeah, because it's on other shit.
Yeah. So like, but back in the day when Netflix first came to Canada, it was barren. There was nothing on it.
It was hot dog trash.
Yeah, there was like stand-up specials, and that's it.
Although honestly, there was some shit on there that like weirdly like isn't there anymore that I remember loving. You know, I remember watching like some weird obscure Canadian TV shows. I remember 18 to Life being very fun. You ever watch that show?
No, I have not.
It's got it's like a more adult oriented sitcom, like where it's, you know, like young adult themed, like it's not for kids. And it's got like the guy from Life with Derek, and it's like him and his girlfriend. Yeah, him and his girlfriend like propose to each other or whatever. And they're only 18, and so they like live together in like an attic apartment or whatever. And I remember being like thinking it was a good show. I don't remember anything about it anymore, but I remember thinking it was a good show at the time.
We have been disrespected so hard as a country in terms of like art stuff. Because like we've made like so many good shows. But people are just like, yeah, America is where all the good stuff is.
Yeah, America's where all the good stuff is. Have you all watched fucking Orphan Black? Great show. Incredible show. Have you guys watched The Handmaid's Tale? Everybody talks about it. It's shot in Mississauga. Yeah. That's right. My mom saw them filming literally 2 days ago.
Have you ever seen a show that looks like it's in New York sometimes? Guess what?
Toronto, baby.
Toronto.
Oh, do you like Hannibal? Toronto. Do you like Suits? That's Toronto. That's right. The fucking current, whatever her name is, Meghan Markle. She shot that entire show in Toronto, baby.
She's a mediocre actress.
Yeah, she's whatever. Who cares?
No, fucking. Oh man, I watched. Did you like? Hassan put out this fucking video of him reacting to Ben Shapiro talking about the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care to know anything about Ben Shapiro because he's a little rat man.
Yeah. Oh, that's an insult to rat men, dude.
It's yeah, my bad, rat people. You don't deserve that. He is so fucking annoying. Like, how can a man who describes himself as a libertarian suck the British royal family's dick so hard?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not racist. I think this is her making it up. I just feel that she's not a good actress and she's a liar. And it's like,
does that have anything to do with her
facts
job?
don't care about your feelings. He was like saying that she was not a good actress and that she was like she left Suits. She was like, oh, she's talking about leaving a career. What career? You were a third tier role on Suits and you weren't even that good. And it's like, this all sounds like your feelings about it, Ben.
Sorry, Ben.
Facts.
Sorry, you really gonna talk shit? Ben Shapiro submitted 80 screenplays and none of them got picked up, and you left LA with like your fucking head in your hands to become who you are today?
Yeah,
Ben?
it's like, shut the fuck up, you piece of shit.
The USA Network Suits is not a masterpiece, but Ben, its screenplay got accepted versus every single one of yours. Because it's better than anything you've written, you dumb little dipshit.
Well, he wasn't talking shit on Suits. He was talking shit about Meghan Markle's performance on Suits, specifically.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, Ben knows a lot about acting.
Yeah, totally.
He learned a lot about acting when he went to Harvard Law. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know that. When you go to Harvard Law, you learn a lot about what makes an acting good. That's the famously Harvard Law, full of actors.
Yeah. Also, comedy writers, apparently.
Hold on. I'm looking at this. Harvard Law. Turns out that Harvard Law is full of people with rich parents. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's not only that. People with rich parents that think that makes them smarter than everybody else. I don't know where I got actor from. I do so many physical bits on this show. God damn it.
Yeah. So Netflix is dumb. Ben Shapiro's a piece of shit.
Love it.
The British royal family's racist. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? God, it's almost as if having a king or a queen is a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Speaking of people who don't like Netflix that much anymore, Alberta, the Texas of Canada, but without a cool Austin equivalent, has a massive...
Oh, yeah. I was like, how is this related? And it was totally related.
In case you don't know, they have a massive oil industry and an extremely conservative government. Conservative being our version of Republicans, which are like diet Republicans, and Republicans are diet fascists, so they're diet fascists.
Yeah.
And they spend $30 million a year on an energy board, often called the War Room, which is effectively propagandizing the oil industry to a general public that's mostly against the oil industry unless it pays their bills.
Yeah. Literally no one in Canada like cares for the oil industry because also majority of the population is around Ontario. That's just how it is.
And Vancouver.
And we have a huge hydroelectric. Because, the falls.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't know this before, but a lot of nuclear power.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
So currently the War Room of the oil industry is throwing a shit fit at the Netflix film Bigfoot Family because the villain of the movie is the CEO of an oil company that's destroying the environment. Yeah. This is a common movie trope because every person on the planet knows that oil CEOs are evil and corrupt and that the oil industry is terrible for the environment.
They've only done bad. Don't try and tell me one that's done good. You can't because they're all bad. Yeah,
but they're throwing a real shit fit about the conservative government, because it's apparently defaming the oil industry. Again, this group of people who watches out for oil in the mainstream, the propaganda for the oil, they cost the Albertan taxpayers $30 million every year. Bigfoot Family, meanwhile, cost $20 million to make and made $9 million at the box office Because it's literal small fucking tomatoes.
It is a tiny baby movie for children.
Nobody should fucking care about this, especially when Alberta, the largest conservative stronghold in the nation, has been hit the hardest by coronavirus, having it worse than any other province despite having a fraction of the fucking population.
Yeah.
And now I'm not saying that being conservative makes you worse at dealing with the coronavirus, but what I am saying is that statistics show exactly that.
Yeah. And you said that they don't have a cool Austin equivalent, and I was like, I think they do. They don't.
No, they don't.
They have Banff. That's it. And Banff isn't like a big city. It's a small town that you go to when you really want to ski.
Which isn't to say there's no cool people or like young people or hip people in Alberta, because they've also got like Edmonton and Calgary. It's just that those cities are not an Austin equivalent, where Austin is like super activist, super fucking cool and hip and shit. You know?
Tons of Australians in Banff, though.
Yeah, well, you know.
It's because when they're during our summer, it's their winter, so they come to like Banff to work, and they hang out and get drunk a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
They gotta escape the prison sometimes.
It's a cool place. Actually, I met a bartender there who was he was actually from Mississauga.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, there was a day where Blake is a motherfucker. Like, we went hiking. Well, I was like super hungover from the night before, and we went. We like go to Lake Louise, which is like this crystal lake in it's like very famous location, whatever. And there's like a little path that just goes up a slight hill, and he's like, hey, we're just gonna go up this and just like look over the lake. And we start walking up it, and he's like, it's only like 500 meters. And I'm like, fine, whatever, that's fine. Mm-hmm. So we start walking up it, and then next thing I know, we're fucking like, we've done like a 5-kilometer hike. We're up at like Lake, the Crystal Lake. I don't know. We went to a tea house on top of a mountain.
That's cool.
It was cool, but I was destroyed. My body was so hurt. So the next day, they were like, we're going to go hiking again. And like, I'm just going to take the car and explore the town. And that's what I did. I went and got like my ears pierced.
That's fun.
And then I stopped and had lunch at like this bar, and I was like sitting at the bar eating this burger, and like the bartender is like, oh, so what brings you here? And I'm like, oh, my friends are hiking and my legs can't move. And he's like, cool. I'm like, and he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, around Toronto. And he's like, oh shit, me too. Where? I'm like, Mississauga. And he's like, oh, same.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Travel the country, because remember,
I've had
don't have to leave the country.
I had a similar
cool
experience
time.
in Florida once when my family went.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's wild. You just fucking wind up magnetically attached to people.
Yeah, it's just like you just be like, oh yeah, we just all show up in this spot.
One year we wound up like in the same kind of like renting a place in the same neighborhood as our friend Ellie that one year. That was
really
wild. That was like super weird coincidence.
Sucks that you had to hang out with her.
That's a little rude. That's exactly how I felt. It is a little rude.
Yeah, and well, you were with your cousin and they were friends, so I live like across the street from her parents.
Mm-hmm. Dude, the first time I end up going to your house, I'm gonna totally drive to the fucking wrong house.
Oh, definitely.
Because like you moved during pandemic.
I fucked up Derek as well, because you know how he like came and gave everyone like goodie bags on New Year's?
Yeah.
He was like, he's like, what's your address again? And I sent him an address, and he like showed up. He was like standing outside of my house like, this isn't it. Like, so then I like I opened the door, and I'm like right there, and he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, I moved again.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's dumb. It's stupid. I'll probably have people over in like a month or so, if we can fucking stay in like the gray area for a bit instead of going back to red.
Hopefully it gets better soon.
Yeah. So anyways, Alberta conservatives, you're all stupid.
Get out of there.
None of you. Or actually, don't leave, because maybe let's get a red population over there, because you can't. If you just leave, they just become more of a conservative stronghold. So like, just stay over there.
What we need is I mean, it's super cheap in Alberta. What we need is get all the fucking, orange people to go from the big cities where they love to be out into Alberta. Then they can make Alberta better.
I feel like during the next election, I really hope people keep working from home, like post quarantine, like COVID, because like, why go back to work? Because honestly, these companies should realize they're wasting so much money on fucking office buildings. Like, just get a small office. You could get an office building that's just like, yeah, we're down. We like cut our 30 offices down to like 5. And there's pretty much just a big conference room that we can fit all our employees in, and that's it. So, like, let people move farther out of the cities. Let's get, like, let's spread out a bit more across this garbage we have, because we have so much space, but no one lives outside of, like, these 5 square kilometers.
Yeah. Well, it's like the entirety of Canada's population, like, is split between Toronto. Oh my God, I said it like an American. Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver.
Mostly Toronto, and it's like surrounding areas too. It's like we got like 1.5 million here. We got 2 million in Toronto, and then like all the other areas around Toronto are also have like 1 million, and there's like 10 of them. So there's like just 10 million people in southern Canada, southern Ontario. Yeah. So we have a quarter of the whole population, which is so frustrating, because America is like, oh yeah, we've vaccinated like 100 million people, and it's like, we'd be done.
Yeah.
But no, hey, we can't make any vaccines up there because your fucking conservative government ruined everything.
Super annoying. And then the Liberals didn't fix it. And the Libs didn't fix it. Cons caused the problem. Libs didn't fix it, baby.
Yeah. Politics suck when when you can't agree with anything.
Thank God we've got like a multi-party system, but like,
thank God. But unfortunately, people still vote like it's not a multi-party system now.
Yeah, that's true. But NDP's
doing
pretty good.
To be able to vote for multiple parties, though.
Why?
So like,
you want the ranked choice system?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well, number 1, it's my boys at the NDP. Number
1, my boy Jag Meat. Number 2, Liberals.
Yeah.
I don't need a third because I don't like the rest of the parties.
Honestly, you know what? Number 1, Jag. Number 2, Green. Number 3, Liberals. I'll set it.
Yeah.
Set it.
Okay, if I only get 2, it's going to be Jag, Liberals.
Yeah.
Because the first vote is what I feel. The second vote is strategic voting.
Yeah.
If there's a third vote, Green Party gets in. But then the rest of the parties are all right-leaning parties.
It's funny. Green Party goes from 0 to 2. They go, because I'd rather have them than the Libs. But I mean, if I only get 2, the Libs are more likely to win. So
yeah, the fucking just for fun, or like one maybe like I don't like the local representative for the Green Party because they did some racist shit or something. I'm like, you know what, the Bloc Québécois, just for fun.
Dude,
everyone else thinks it's funny as well. It does the same thing, and they end up winning.
I just want to point out, the Bloc Québécois is probably the actively most racist large political party in Canada.
Yeah. They're separatists, and they're like, we only like white French people.
Yep.
Well, actually, I don't think they're the most actively, because there's that, what is it?
Yeah, but they're, okay, like, yes, the Canadian Nationalist Party, which is an explicitly Nazi party, does exist, but they're not actually, they don't ever win any seats, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Although it's the other one. There's another fucking conservative party as well. That,
yeah, the really far right one that I keep getting YouTube ads about how they don't want abortions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fucked up.
Yeah. Also, imagine talking about that in this year. Like we solved abortions decades ago here.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? Stop bringing it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what happens when we don't have WandaVision to talk about.
Time to head right into the weeks.
Yeah.
We get really political when we don't have WandaVision.
Yeah, just wait until the other show comes up and we're like, and it's like, whoa, look at all these American military propaganda.
Yeah, you know us. If there's one thing we love, It's propaganda.
Yeah, it's the best. I'm just watching someone suck at Demon Souls this whole podcast as well.
Really?
Like I have it muted. I'm just watching them. They're like stuck. It's the lady who did one of my tattoos.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well, speaking of Let's Plays, this week I started watching a Let's Play.
I'm gonna take a guess.
Okay, so what I have written here, just so you know, so you have the context, I put a Let's Player is playing a game that I both love and am an expert at, and I can feel the toxicity rising in me.
Okay, so I know of one YouTube channel that we both watch that is doing a Let's Play right now, like a Twitch stream. So
Yeah.
I think it could be them, but I don't know if you're an expert at it.
Okay.
But I feel like there might be one I don't know about as well. So either someone's playing Nier Automata,
Nope.
or it's Girlfriend Reviews playing Persona 5.
Also, no, I didn't know they were doing that.
Damn, they're playing Royal, and they're honestly, because like, you know, Matt is like an actual real gamer. He is playing correctly. In my opinion, correctly.
Which is what? Is
He tries to do the palace as fast as he can, and tries to do it all in one trip.
That's normal.
Yeah. So, but like, you know, that's not how they want you to play Persona 5, but is the optimal way to. And Persona 5, it's very easy to do it all in one day if you kind of know what you're doing. / have the tools available to you. So...
Yeah, I thought you were going to say he's using a guide to get perfect days. I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to play that game.
That's a wrong way to play. Like, I just know how to play the game perfectly.
I think I will do
it.
that on like... if I ever go back and start Royal again from the beginning or whatever.
Yeah. I think what you should do is not use a guide, but just like find like some tips. I could pretty much just give them to you.
I would rather just get... it's easier for me to just get a guide that says X day do this. That's way easier. I don't care about being optimal. I don't fucking... Or, I'm sorry, I don't care about learning myself and reloading saves. I just want...
Oh, I hardly ever reload. The only time I would reload saves is when I was... Like I would be like, I have nothing to do. Like, there's no confidants. What can I do right now? Let me go try and do the Big Bang Burger challenge again, and see if I have the stats to do it. Because if you complete it, you get a big up. But if you don't, you only get like 1 point up in guts, and it's like it's not worth doing anymore.
Yeah.
So I would just like save before only that one.
By the way, this is a Let's Player that you and I both are familiar with. I'll let you have one more guess.
Hit me. I don't know anyone else right now.
Okay.
Game Grumps?
On the channel Woolly Versus, they have started playing... No. They've started playing Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that that was one of the new games they were playing.
I like Woolly Versus. That's a great channel. I watched some of their Yakuza 0. They're great because one of them actually knows a lot more about that game and is more of a completionist than I even was when I played 0. They're doing a great job. They have started playing Batman Arkham Asylum, and I am not normally somebody who like gets this feeling when I watch people play a game badly. But maybe it's because I've beaten Batman Arkham Asylum like probably 10 times and like 100%ed it like a couple of those times. Actually, most of those times.
Did you see the fucking name of their podcast this week?
Oh yeah. Dude, hold on.
I've been taking a break from listening because like their little quirks and intricacies are just fucking annoying me so much recently.
Do you want to hear something really funny about that podcast?
What's up?
Go back to last week and tell me what the title of that podcast was and what day it was posted.
I am scrolling down. Wooly uploads so much, so it's easy to miss. Okay, there's Pat's Engaged, so that's 2 weeks back, so that's wrong.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about probably week of March 1st.
I can't find it. All right, I'll click on this video because maybe it will tell me.
Just go to the like Libsyn or whatever.
The Pokemon gluttons who would not be satisfied with all the riches of heaven. It came out
now.
On the
What
2nd.
date? That was posted on the 2nd. Now, episode 70 of this podcast came out on March 1st, with the title Gluttons Who Would Not Be Satisfied with All of the Riches in Heaven. They ripped us off, bitch. We're on top. We got them. We got them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They recorded it the day ours came out. That's 2 days after we recorded it.
Yeah.
Double got them. They're fucking canceled. They stolen our jokes, and I didn't steal it from a meme. Definitely.
I just can't watch Wooly play games anymore because he just plays them so weird. differently than I do, and he's like so slow. Like, oh, let me get this weapon. All right, now let me swing at the air for 5 whole minutes to check out the frame data. I'm like, just go kill something.
Yeah, that's funny.
Go use it in combat. Stop going to the void, Wooly.
Yeah. But okay. Wooly is playing Batman Arkham Asylum, and I'm like 2.5 of his long videos in. He still doesn't really get the combat. Which is like weird. Like, it's rhythm-based combat. You think he would get it, but it's
for a man that is so good at all fighting games
and rhythm games.
Has played all these action games, like is like been a Devil May Cry god and all that, to fucking suck at a combat system that is just a cheaper, easier version than like the rest of those. Mm-hmm. Is embarrassing. Like, even I fucking got it after... How long did I fucking play that game for?
I think like an hour and a half.
Yeah, 1 second. I put double R. Arkham Asylum Game of the Year edition.
Yeah.
I have played that game for 92 minutes, so you were correct, and I had the combat system.
I look at it
down.
and go, when will Ian be able to talk to me about this video game that I like?
I got the combat system. It's like... You do a big combo, and then you can chain big hits back and forth forever as long as you don't get hit.
Yeah,
and, like,
or drop the
parry
combo.
timing. And it's very satisfying when you do like, oh, 1 second, let me just press square and go across the whole room and flip kick this man.
It's it feels so good, and then they throw in more types of enemies and more things to do. It's really great. Obviously, it gets improved significantly for City. That's like the really good one, but it's still good in Asylum. But Arkham Asylum, one of my favorite games of all time, and so he doesn't get the combat that much. And the first riddle challenge where you have to like take a picture of something, in case you don't know it, the riddle is don't cut yourself on this sharp portrait. And
it's the warden.
The answer is a picture of Warden Sharp.
Yeah.
Right. It's literally fucking maybe 10 feet away from where you get the riddle. The man runs out into the room to get a bird's eye view and takes like 5 minutes and then says, man, I hate the fucking riddles. And it's like, fuck off. Yeah. They're literally one of my favorite elements of the game. I like the, obviously I think the Riddler stuff goes a bit too far in City, and so then they dial it back a bit more in Night. And obviously it's not really fun at all in Origins, in my opinion. But, and I wasn't expecting him to do 100% completion, whatever. It's a fucking Let's Play. But yeah, it was like so pissing me off. I'm like, God damn it. And then like the stealth, it takes him like 2 or 3 stealth encounters before he realizes he can do silent takedowns.
It's in
by
the
sneaking
tutorial.
Up behind you. Yep. It's very funny. Like, again, I like seeing him react to the characters and stuff, but God, like the most recent thing that I had to stop watching was when you get to the medical center, which is like kind of the second area, the first area you go to after you leave like the intensive care, like the opening of the game,
you fight
right?
Bane there, don't you?
Yeah. And so to get in, so you walk in the front door and you're locked, right? There's a second door that's a shield, and Harley's like, you can't come in here yet, bitch. You're supposed to walk out, you go to the roof, and there's a bombable wall, and the man runs across the entire roof and misses the bombable wall. And I'm like, and again, I'm normally not this toxic. I'm not here to call out Wooly and say he's a dipshit. But I am like, this is making it hard for me to watch, and I want to see if Wooly likes this game I love. Because I think he would. It's like totally up his alley, but fuck.
He put a clip out that says Arkham boss is not great.
That's fair. I'll take it. The Bane boss is what every Bane / Rhino boss in every fucking video game is.
Yeah.
Uh, the final boss, like most of the bosses are just okay. They're not terrible, I don't think. Everybody said that in Arkham Origins, Deathstroke is the best boss, and I say, I don't know if I agree. It's very QTE heavy in my mind.
Sure.
But whatever.
Yeah.
I could talk about the Arkham games for fucking 8 years.
I know. You have been.
They're great. Anyway, what did you do this weekend?
Well, so last week I watched 3 movies, and they're
Yeah.
all certifiable hood classics. So I
Yeah.
watched 3 Mel Brooks movies because it's Mel Brooks March, but it's not. It was just a thing we did because we were bored, and I went and found these movies on the Pirate Bay. But I have also owned them, so fuck off with that bullshit. We watched Blazing Saddles, a movie I have never seen. Young Frankenstein, a movie I have never seen, and Robin Hood Men in Tights, a movie I have seen 1,000 times. Blazing Saddles is so funny.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
it's
actually
racist.
haven't seen it. I've seen Young Frankenstein, but I forget most of it. And I've seen
Blazing
Robin Hood Men in Tights, like I think just once. So again, I've forgotten most of it.
Blazing Saddles is classic Mel Brooks like slapstick comedy with like some great like shit. But like, you know, it's a movie made in 1974, so there is like some questionable racism in it. But like, I think it's not that bad.
If you're doing Mel Brooks March, you could still continue on because you didn't do Spaceballs, you didn't do.
No, we were gonna watch 3 more, and I fucking said I was gonna do it tonight. But I don't know if I fucking put in my announcement channel, and I said, "Oh, we're gonna watch this," and I said we were gonna do this last week. And so fucking Jacob just rolls in today, and he, like I sent it in the morning, and then I woke up to a message where Jacob's like, "No, we're gonna watch Code Lyoko at 8:30," and I'm like, "All right, cool, thanks," but I don't think Gavin cares for Code Lyoko, so maybe I'll still watch them.
Yeah. So what do you got? You got Producers,
Spaceballs, and
Spaceballs.
Dracula Dead and Loving It, which is something Dan wanted to watch, so I'd probably save that one until they stop watching Code Lyoko, because Dan watches Code Lyoko, and it's like it's his request. So
Yeah.
or
And
I might just wait till late because they're not that, the movies aren't that long. They're like an hour and a half max. But so Blazing Saddles though.
Or if Dan doesn't want to come and you want to save Dracula Dead and Loving It, you could watch History of the World Part 1.
Yeah, maybe. So but let me get through Blazing Saddles here. We were all watching it and we're like, yeah, the movie's racist because there's a bunch of white people saying the N-word all the time. But also the movie takes place in 1874. Like, it's an old, like, probably older than that, actually.
The POV, the POV, though, is that, like, they shouldn't be saying it because they're bad people. Like, the people who say it
they're
are
all
the
the
bad
villains.
Guys. Yeah.
Gene Wilder's character does not say it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the guy does like, he saves the town once and he becomes like, they all go like, you know what, maybe we don't hate this black dude so much, maybe you're all right for an N-word. But like, the movie is very funny. Like, if you want to be like, oh, it's racist, you're too sensitive to movies then, especially period pieces and movies that were made 37 years ago.
I mean, the movie is pretty explicitly
47.
anti-racist.
Yeah, exactly. But the fucking ending of that movie is like, it's they do like this bit where the town, they have to destroy the town, so they go and make a bunch of like cardboard cutouts version of the town, and it's very meta. And they get in this big fight in the town, and one of the villains like goes and like tries to kick open a door, and he kicks down the entire like fake building they've made. Because it's just like a cardboard cutout pretty much. And they go like, this is fake. And then they start fighting again with and then one of them fucking busts down a wall and they end up on a different film set where Dom DeLuise is playing like this gay, like theater producer, like making a musical. And he's like trying to educate these guys on how to do the dance properly. And these cowboys just bust through the wall and are fighting in the middle of the room.
That's funny. That's a classic.
And it's like them beating the shit out of each other across like the Warner Brothers lot. And the end of the movie is very similar to like the joke in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
where like they're like, how do we find out? It's like, let's watch Spaceballs on VHS, and they put it in, and then they fast forward to the part that they're at. They're like looking back at the camera, and it's reflecting on the TV.
Bit's so fucking funny.
It's hilarious, but like they do that where like the villain goes in and he's like watching the movie, and like Cleavon Little and Gene Wilder show up and kill him outside the movie theater, and then go in and finish watching the movie.
It's a good bit.
But like, oh man, those two together are also so funny.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder is just a amazing actor.
He's great. I'd love to watch The Producers with you, because that one I think is really fucking funny.
Yeah. So then we watched Young Frankenstein.
Springtime for Hitler and
Then we
Germany.
We watched
Such
Young
a funny
Frankenstein, which is not as funny, but Mel Brooks thinks it's his finest work.
Yeah.
It's a lot more subtle. Like they got a little more jokey stuff going on, like a little more like let's hold for a laugh sort of things. Like there's a part where Gene Wilder looks at Igor, and he's like, I'm something of a doctor. I could fix that hump you have. And Igor's just like, what hump? And then later on in the movie, the hump starts changing which side of his shoulders it's on for like the bit. And it's like, all right, this is fucking silly. So then after we watched Young Frankenstein, we watched the movie I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Which is Robin Hood Men in Tights, starring a like 18-year-old Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. I've seen that movie.
Super fucking young. That movie is ridiculous. It feels the most modern because it was made in 1993. So we went from like watching a movie from 74 to 93. Because actually, Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein both came out in 74, and they were filmed in the same year.
Holy shit.
Because remember, old movies, it was like editing wasn't as like intense as it is now. And like you filmed the entire movie in like a month or two.
Well, that's the same as now. It's just
but now there's like more complicated shots and more locations.
Yeah, yeah, well, all that means is that they handed it off to an editor, and like that's
and then the editor probably took like a week to do it.
No. Editing was far more time consuming back then.
All right, so but there's this one fucking part in Blazing Saddles where they're like trying to get info on like the bounty hunters they're about to send after them, and they see these two men in like Ku Klux Klan's like the outfits, and they're gonna pull a Black Klansman. Or also like that other Dave Chappelle sketch, the one in the Chappelle show, the black white supremacist. So Gene Wilder's like, hey fellas, look what I got here, and he pulls Cleavon Little out, and in the fucking best read ever, he goes, "Hey yo, where the white women at?"
Yeah, that's the one.
And fucking they go to like, they do the classic go around the corner and you just hear like, boo ah ch ah ooh ah ooh ooh ooh. And then they pop back out, and it's very obvious that they've like stolen their outfits. Yeah. Oh, fucking Robin Hood Men in Tights though is so absurd.
Okay.
Like everything in that movie is dumb as shit.
Unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with a British accent.
Yeah. And then also Mel Brooks does this joke in every one of his fucking movies. I like where he's just like, they look at the script, they like do a massive fourth wall break, they go and like watch the movie. Like when they go to the archery competition and Robin Hood like goes like, lose? I'm not supposed to lose. And then he pulls out the script that just says like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah. I was telling you, that's the same bit. They do that bit in the Muppet movie.
That's just a good fourth wall break.
Yeah.
It's like a very obvious one to do.
Oh, geez, how'd you find us? You read the script.
The deaf guy is hilarious in that film.
Oh, is he deaf? I thought he was blind.
No, he's blind. Yeah, he's blind. But
he's got the fucking embossed rock fucking Playboy. And he's sitting in the castle's only...
The castle's been like pulled away and he doesn't notice.
There's no walls.
Notice why it's so breezy.
Yeah.
And then Robin Hood fucking Carrie always runs up to him. He's like, Blinken, and he's like, oh, be right out in a sec. And he's like trying to like pull his shit
pants up.
Yeah. And then he runs out and then he like explains to Robin Hood how his like whole family's dead. He's like, my father dead. My mother died by the plague. My brothers also the plague or whatever. And he's like, my dog run over by a cart. My goldfish eaten by the cat. My cat choked on the goldfish. It's just like a fantastic, like,
so funny,
fucking nut, like hit after hit. But there's a joke later on at the archery competition where they try to like assassinate Robin Hood, and Blinken like catches the crossbow bolts out of the air, and he's like, "I heard that coming from a mile away," and he's like, "I got ears like a hawk or whatever the fuck," and Robin Hood says, "Good job, Blinken." He's like, "What? Who's that? Who said it?" I fucking love Mel Brooks movies.
They're good. Classic.
Yeah, what a great dude.
He actually shows up in the Muppet movie, you know, that I think about it.
Oh, that makes sense. The classic comedy guys.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! There was a really sweet like thing I found out about Blazing Saddles though.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy, he plays one of the villains. He plays like the villain's lackey. And he's this like he has these like really squinty eyes, and he has like this big wide smile. He looks like a man that he looks like a happy Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
And he's like plays this like huge racist in the movie. And he fuck. So he says the N-word a lot, but apparently behind the scenes, every time he said the N-word to Cleavon Little, he would like as soon as the scene was over, he was like, "I'm so sorry. I don't want to say it." And Cleavon Little's like, "Oh man, it's cool. It's a line. It's the job. You got to do it." And then like I went
playing the bad guy.
I was reading about the dude, and he was like in the military. He was just like a boxer who just like fell into acting. You know, like how all classic actors are.
Yeah.
And he's just like a very sweet old man, and I'm like, I love that. That's a nice touch. Yeah, so that's pretty much my entire week.
Okay, cool. Well, now I'm going to talk about a movie that I watched.
Yeah. Oh, his name was Burton Gilliam.
Burton Gilliam. Nice.
Yeah.
So this week, and like honestly, pretty much right after the podcast, I watched this movie. It's called Save the Green Planet. It's from 2003, directed by Jang Joon Hwang. It's a Korean movie. And
that name?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm like, it's obvious that it's Korean.
Yeah. And this movie is great. It is... So, Save the Green Planet is a pitch dark comedy about a man who is seemingly fucking crazy, who kidnaps and tortures a CEO of a pharmaceutical company whom he believes to be an alien.
Okay.
And the movie is like, it's very stylized and interesting. Like, it's funny, but it's fucked up as hell. But it's not like super, like, it's got some violence and gore, but it's not like so over the top you're like disgusted by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it tells the story of this dude who is like doing some fucked up shit. But like, he's like clearly a human person. And like, you sympathize with him, you get why he's doing it, you get what his motivations are, like, you know, what they wind up being, and, you know, you understand how he gets this way, even though he's doing something messed up. And so, like, you follow him, you follow the cops who are trying to find this kidnapped man. And again, like, it's very funny, it's very interesting, it's a breezy-ass movie, like, you just kind of, like, it keeps going nonstop. There's, like, incredible stylization. At times, it goes from, like, ridiculously funny, weirdly over-the-top action, and, like, legitimately good, like, drama and tragic stuff. Great ending. Again, like, great characters. Super fun. Like, super great movie. It's like if Joker was a good film.
How dare you? I've only ever watched one movie.
No, but like in actuality, of course, like if the Joker is a movie about a psychotic murderer, that you're supposed to feel sympathy for, it's worse at being that than this movie is. Because literally in this movie, I'm like watching at the end or partway through, and I'm legitimately cheering for the character who has kidnapped and tortured a man. Like, I'm legitimately cheering. I'm like, I hope he gets back before the cop catches. And I'm like, what? This guy's bad. Like, he's doing terrible, fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And the answer is like, because I get him, and like I care about him more than I care about the CEO guy.
Yeah, because oil CEOs are evil.
Well, the pharmacy CEO.
Also evil.
Yeah. But yeah, and of course, like, again, the reveal of like what happened to this man to make him lose his mind, and like not lose his mind, but make him this way, and like how he exists in the world and what his motivation is. Because he like actually, he thinks he's a. The thing that's great about it is like the director said he watched Misery and he felt like that the villain of that movie was like, you don't really get a good peek into like why she's doing it. And so he's like, if I did a kidnapping movie, it'd be told from the POV of the kidnapper. And he writes this movie about this guy who like believes certain people are aliens and legitimately thinks of himself as the hero in this story. Like, and apparently they're working on an American remake nowadays with like some of the original people coming in to help. And I think nowadays you can't do this because it's too QAnon-y. Like, certain people high in society are secretly aliens. Like, I don't know. I think it hits a little bit too close to home in that way. Yeah. Like, where if you start liking the guy, like, you're, you know, that's like maybe not a great thing to do societally.
Yeah, you might be a piece of shit.
Right. No, but that's my point. But like in this movie, I think everything works. Like, because it's still like at its core commenting on like the world, and it's like how cruel it is, right?
Yeah.
And like, again, it's a great flick. It's funny. It's weird. It's totally its own thing. There's kind of nothing else quite like it. It's a real smart movie. It's on the Criterion channel, which you should fucking have. It's the streaming service, baby. In my books. Yeah, it is. No, it's the best one. It's if you look at every streaming service, you're like, what percentage of the movies on this are good? And the answer is like 50%, right? You look at the Criterion channel, and baby, it's like 95.
Sure.
I'm just saying, dude. If you're somebody who wants to get into movies, and especially like classic films or foreign films, there's legitimately no better place for you than the Criterion Collection and the Criterion channel.
Yeah, sure. I'm not going to argue with you about this.
I mean, you shouldn't. It's just a fact at this point. Like, it's... Yeah. If you want to get into movies, it's like the best place to start. They got like a bunch of really smart shit. But yeah, even if you don't want to get deep into movies, Save the Green Planet is an incredible watch that I would highly recommend to pretty much anybody.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yep. And then I played another cool video game called Legal Dungeon, which is also from Korea. Just happens to be.
Sorry, I just yesterday on Discord, I was talking shit. I was just like, man, fucking, like, whatever. Loop Hero is just the flavor of the week. New fucking roguelike that everyone's like, oh, it's so cool. I'm just sucking his dick so hard. And then, like, and then I was being negative about it. And then I went and looked at one fucking minute of gameplay. And I'm like, actually, this looks sick. Because it does look interesting. I think I'll pick it up and then I'll probably talk about it next week.
That's cool.
But yeah, Legal Dungeon.
So Legal Dungeon is a cool video game. Which is, if I were to say what it's like, it is basically if Ace Attorney and Papers, Please had a baby. You play as a police officer who is not a beat cop. You are behind a desk working on a computer to type up cases and do like some light interrogation. You wind up just combing through pages and pages of reports to try to get the right words, to try to get, what you think is the right verdict. Now, the thing that's interesting here is that this is not a game that glorifies the police. This is, in fact, a very the system of policing video game.
Sick.
Because in the game you are rated for two, count them, two. What's the word? Like, you have two things you're being rated for, right? Two criteria. That's the word. The first criteria is people who you are saying you should indict, right?
Yeah.
So the more people you say are guilty, you get higher rating. And then the second rating is how accurate your decisions are to the courts.
Accurate.
What?
You said accurate weird.
It's accurate.
You said like accurate.
Oh, that's my bad. I'm wearing headphones. I always fucking talk weird when I'm wearing headphones.
Yeah, I'm not using this mic right now, like, at all, but it gives me feedback. Like, oh shit, I hit my mic there. Like, straight up, like, very quickly, no delay. So I was like, yeah, I have to use it or else I speak too loud into this one.
Yeah. That's
so
the thing I've been doing this whole time.
I finally downloaded the thing, like, for the mic, like, the shit, and it has it on there. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I use it. There is so much delay that it's like the thing, there's like that app people used to fuck around with on their phone where it would play your voice back to you, but it would be on a delay.
And
so
then you start talking super fucking weird.
Yeah, so you're just like, so anyways, and then because you're like hearing your own voice and it fucks up your brain. And that's what it was doing to me.
I was trying to do that with Adobe Audition, and it's the same thing, big delay. So I had to turn it off. What was I saying? Fuck. Oh, yeah, Legal Dungeon. So when you go through cases, though, you basically, depending on what you click and drag and what thing, you determine, like, if somebody's... if you're going to say that they shouldn't be indicted or that they should be. And so, like, the first case is a guy who is being investigated for another crime in the middle of the police station called police officers bacon shit. And so that's a crime to swear at a police officer. It's defamation of character. So, are you going to fine him or not? And you can play it both ways, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one is... a grandfather and granddaughter stole free newspapers that were being handed out for free. Do you want to indict this person?
Free newspapers.
Yes, because the newspaper has monetary value, and the person who is handing them out for free wanted, had a limit that each person could take one. That's still technically theft, right?
Sure.
And so, do you want to sit this person? You want to indict this person or no? You chose not to indict both. Well, you just got this job. You're not getting good numbers. Get the fuck out of here. You're fired. So then, like, you're gonna go back and go, okay, well, I'm gonna change these to, say they're guilty, or wanted to say it's guilty, right? So that I'm still gotta make my numbers, right? As much as I think this is morally fine, gotta make my numbers or else I lose my job. And so then, like, the path you wind up going down is, of course, you get more and more, like, serious crimes, more and more things where you don't really know what the right moral choice is. And on top of that, depending on, like, how you choose the third mission, like, depending on how you pick it up, if you're picking up detail, if you let the third guy go, even though he seems pretty clearly guilty, it's because he's the son of, like, the chairman who has a lot of power. So then that starts you down the corrupt, like, the literal intentionally corrupt, instead of, like, trying to be a decent person, but, like, you're in a broken system route.
Yeah.
Those are literally the two options. It's try to be a decent person, but you're in a broken, inherently corrupt system, or be corrupt yourself and fucking, like, play the game.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's really fun. Like, it all ends up.
It's really fun to have an existential nightmare about.
It's totally fucked up. It's great. It's a great game. It is a little bit obtuse with, like, the answers to questions that you need to be giving. So you might want to, like, look up a guide if you're looking into it. But it's only like $7, and it's a Korean game, and so it's made by, like, one guy. So you can give it a bit of a pass.
Yeah.
It's a very cool game. And again, I love stuff that's critical of that system.
Critical.
But yeah, so check
Yeah.
out Legal Dungeon. It's like super short. It's like 3 or 4 hours long to like 100% and see all the routes. And I would highly recommend it because it's a great game.
Cool.
Also, I played a bit of P5 Strikers. I'm in the second town.
Yeah. That's where I'm at the end of that one, and I just haven't played this week.
I played a bit at the beginning of the week, but I haven't played that much.
You know how like in all the Persona, like in Persona 5, you can't use instant kill skills on bosses.
Yeah.
You can in P5 Strikers. Not on like big bosses, but you can on like mini bosses. Yeah. So like you can't use them on like the final, like the Monarch, but you can use it on like the Monarch's like guys he sends at you. Yeah, so there was a guy who was fighting Fortuna, that fucking like clock persona, and it's weak to dark skills or whatever they're called.
Curse.
So they just kept spamming Mudon with which is a low chance instant kill move on it, but since it's weak, it kind of raises it to a high chance and just kept going until it died. Like from full health to nothing.
That's funny. I like that game a lot, but I do find maybe I should have grinded or something, but I do find that like I wind up in fights like just fucking getting my shit pushed in randomly.
I just don't like that you can't swap out your teammates without being at a check. Well, you can't. Sorry, not at a checkpoint. Well, if you're in a fight, you can't swap out your teammates. So if you get like into something and you have no skills to like that an enemy's weak to, you're just kind of fucked.
Yeah, that too.
Which is dumb because
like
that's not how the actual game works.
The boss of the first dungeon, like, has attacks that if she hits you twice, like, I went down. And, like, revive are so hard to find.
Well, like, after that dungeon, in the second dungeon, Morgana just, like... By the time you're, like, in midway through the second dungeon, Morgana learned Recarm for me, so, like, it's good now.
Maybe I need to level up Morgana more, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's like a level 15 move or something.
I feel like I have him around there. Maybe he's 14. Maybe he's like on the...
This rude bitch. My dog started barking. She's been quiet for like the last fucking 3 hours we've been trying to record, but now she just decided to start barking. And like my mom's come home and she usually barks at that. Like, fucking bitch.
Well, you know what? It's lucky because this is the end of the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't really need to talk about that last one.
Right? What was the last thing? Sorry.
I watched a stand-up special, and it was just I would literally just be repeating a joke, and it was just
yeah, you added that like just now. Sorry.
It was the roughest thing I've ever heard someone say to their own mother.
Oh Jesus.
So it was like Tom Segura is he's this comedian. He's standard like bald dude with a beard. And he tells this joke about his how he doesn't get in arguments anymore because it's just not worth his time. So he was on the phone with his mom, and she claims that the California wildfires are going on because God says we don't love each other enough. And he's like about to start arguing with his mom, and just goes like, you know what, I'm not going to. And he's like, you know what, Mom, you're right. And she's like, don't do that. And he's like, what? He's like, don't just. And she says, I always knew you were a little bitch, Tommy, and hangs up on him. And he like internalizes that. And then like she comes over for Christmas, and like she has her 5 dogs there. She's with her grandchildren. She's the happiest like any South American mother would be. And he leans over to her, puts like a hand on her shoulder, and says, hey, Mom, you ever think about one day you're going to have to bury all of those dogs?
Jesus Christ.
And she just goes like, no, I never thought of that. And he just says to her, she's like, why would you say that? He's like, I don't know. He says, Merry Christmas. She's like, Merry Christmas, Tommy, and starts crying. And I'm like, that is so horrible to do to your mother on Christmas.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. And then he asks, like, what are you going to do if you die before if dad dies before you? It's just like he ruined this woman's day, like her fucking whole like rest of her year, because she called him a little bitch. Also, because she's a dream killer. Like, when he said he was going to become a comedian, she's like, you should go to the post office. And he's like, why? Do they do stand-up shows there? And she's like, no, you should go to the post office to get a job. Like, don't even try and be a stand-up comedian. Just fucking go get a job at the post office.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. But, so that's why he did it to her. It's so rough, though. I was laughing so hard. Because it is so funny, but so fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were mean to your poor mom, dude.
She's mean to me.
That's fair, too.
Yeah.
In a good world, you guys would see each other on holidays and live in different fucking locations.
Because of how my family is, I would definitely see her more than just holidays, but...
Yeah. Or weekends or whatever.
Or like, hey, Ian, I need a fucking towel rack put up. And then I go to do it, and she's like, you're doing it wrong. And I'm like, why did you ask me to do this then?
Yeah, sure.
I think I did that last week.
Did that...
I don't know if I complained about that last week.
What I'm saying is, if you did that, but then you lived somewhere else, you guys would get along great.
You get along swimming. Say that again?
Oh, I was just saying, if you did that, but you lived somewhere else, you didn't live in the same house as her, it'd be great. You guys would get along swimmingly.
I am just like the fucking handyman for my entire family. Well, the women in my family, not my brother. My brother handles his own shit.
And my uncle's that for us.
Nice. Like, I have to go over and put up a wall mount for a TV tomorrow at my sister's house.
Yeah.
She was trying to get me to do it in the afternoon today. Like, fuck that.
It's Saturday.
Like, yeah, Saturday afternoon, like 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that. I said I'd do it at noon, and she was like, oh, we have people coming doing something else at noon, so I guess you got to leave at, you can come do it on Sunday. And I'm like, fine, I will. Because I'm a nice person who has also put off doing this for, like, the last 2 months. Because I also have to install a faucet for her. See,
I'm the guy who's like, listen, if you want me to go out of my way to do this for you, I'm doing it on my time.
Oh, yeah. No, it's same. It's just, it's been a lot. I'd rather not do work on Saturdays, especially since I usually work overtime on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
Not today, though, because if I did, I would have missed my entire shift because I went to bed at 9 a.m. Thanks, Blake.
What were you guys doing?
We played. So first, Blake gets on after you guys played Among Us at like midnight, and we played Apex Legends. We won, actually. We had a fucking amazing game last night.
#1 victory royale.
Yeah, Fortnite. We about to get down. Get down. Look at this fucking. Look at this score here. Fucking MVPs. We did a third of all the kills in the entire game.
Damn. Way to go, boys.
Yeah, and look, Blake was killing it. Like, look at that fucking kill. Look at Stevie's, though.
Stevie got... I can't read this at all.
1 kill. He got 1 kill. But guess what? Guess fucking what? It was the last kill, so he is the Apex Legend.
He was the Apex Legend, you're right.
Yeah. But like we got in like a bunch of fights and just came out on top. It was such a good time. And then after that we played Valheim, did literally nothing in the game. Like went and mined a bunch of copper and we're like, wow, we've progressed. None at all. Yeah. And then we watched Viva La Bam for like a long time. We watched like 5 episodes last night. And then Stevie went to bed and we watched 2 more episodes of Viva La Bam. And then we just kind of stayed up talking.
Nice.
As we do. And then he was showing me Daxter just chilling on the bed next to him. And he's a sweet boy who's now a quiet man instead of always barking next to Blake. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I was up so late last night.
Sounds like a great time. Yeah, I was up a little bit late doing the Among Us, but then I went to bed.
Yeah. A little bit late. That was like normal person late.
Yeah, I go to bed at like midnight. That's like a little late.
Yeah. And then when I was like about to go to bed, I was like going to take a piss before I would sleep, and my mom was up, so I went and talked to her for like half an hour, and I just lied in bed with her. And just like, because she was telling, her friend came over the night before, and like, because she's going through some shit, and she, of course, my mother cannot hold a secret to save her fucking life, so tells me everything. So like, I found out all of that nonsense.
I mean, she can trust you.
Yeah, it's not like
my mom's the same way with the fucking family. Like,
I'm sure I've told you things that you like turned around and told your mom.
Oh yeah. It's like,
my mom was
fine.
upset actually because I had to take Dave. I owed him, like, I took him for a ride to go pick up his car because a rental because his car died. So I'm in the car with him. I'm just making polite conversation, and I had like just found out that Blake has to move.
Oh yeah. You mentioned that.
So I told Dave. And then Dave told my mom, and I hadn't talked to her like that weekend. So she's like, how the fuck did Dave know that Blake's moving and I didn't? But then, you know, my mom is just, she has like such dumb brain. She's just like, oh, I can't believe he's moving back in with his mother. And I'm like,
oh, that's not what's happening.
That's not what's happening at all. I like, where did you get that from? He has to just find a new place because his landlord's like, yeah, I'm going to sell this place now, actually.
The boys can't come together with a fucking offer?
No, who wants to? I don't think they want to be. I think, honestly, if Blake did never travel and did save up all his money, he probably could have done something like that. But he also wants to move out of the province in like the next few years.
Oh, really? Out of the province?
He wants to go live in BC.
That's...
Because if there's a nuclear power plant, Blake can work there.
That's true.
Yeah. He's got one of those jobs where he can go anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's got secret information about how to blow him up, too. That's not true, actually.
No, of course not. I don't know how much of that we're going to keep. Thanks so much for listening to the Media Hole podcast this week, you guys. As always, you can find us and other shit. Okay, hold on. Let me finish it. It's an outro, baby. All right. Thanks so much for listening to the Media Hole podcast, you guys. As always, you can find this podcast as well as other videos that are like video essays or stream uploads at youtube.com/N8SComedy. And if you want to follow me personally, you can go to @TheMediaHole on Twitter. You can go to @TheMediaHole on TikTok. You can follow me at twitch.tv/TheMediaHole, where, again, like, I might stream that Square Enix thing on the 18th or whatever. And finally, www.whenyourballs.get stuck to your like.tumblr.com.
No.
If you want to follow Ian, you can find him at StrugglesV on practically every platform. He has recently come under fire because he's been
supporting the royal family.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do tweeting that the Bigfoot family should be canceled.
That's right. It's liberal propaganda.
Liberals. Anyways, thanks so much. Shit, I was about to come up with a name for our fans. That's a good bit.
Holers.
Holers. Okay, I think Holers is good. I was gonna just also call them liberals. Thanks for listening, liberals. We'll see you next time.
Bye.